Hello everybody, and welcome to your channeled weekly wisdom for the week of June 9th, 2025. So this whole month of June, I have been met by the spirit primarily of blue whales, but all of the cetaceans have really come forward wanting to share their wisdom with all of you for this month ahead. It really feels like, June, we're finding ourselves, approaching this middle point of the year of 2025. 2025 is a 9-year, which is all about cycles coming to an end. So again, we find ourselves at this midway point through the year, and really the message for this week is all about community. So really the message is community is key. And when we look at everything that has been occurring in the outer world, the whales, the way they showed themselves to me is they completely surrounded me in spirit, where I felt like I was surrounded by this loving tribe of whale energy that I felt completely encircle my body. And there were like multitudes of whales around me. And they were saying, us really finding a way to come together, to really sink into, who can we be around that really brings us into our heart. It's really important that even if we can't physically be together, that we start making very clear and deliberate connections. So reaching out and making that phone call, sending that text message, connecting to your group of people that help you feel loved, that you feel very much supported, seen, and heard. So it really is about community, being supported, being seen, and being heard. The whales were also giving me the sense of, it's really important for us in loving ways to share perspectives, to really put a voice to how we're feeling, and to have other people engage with that in a non-inflammatory way. So really expressing how we're feeling, what is showing up in your life, really reaching out for support, and maybe even just the loving guidance of somebody who can perhaps bring some illumination to what you're feeling and offer different points of view that will allow you, again, the message of last week, to really go within and to see what exists within you. What needs some tending to, what needs love, what needs acknowledgement and nurturance, and perhaps what needs, to be reevaluated, to be like, is this a belief system, a viewpoint, or a way of being that I want to carry forward, in my life moving forward. So, but it really is about doing this, in groups, in community, and with one another. So the whales were also coming forward with this really encouragement of, can you be the brave one in the group to really initiate bringing like-minded souls together? So I feel like, as we go through life, especially, as we get a little bit older, it's very easy to get caught up in the day-to-day things that we have to do. And it can be very easy to kind of push investing in our relationships down the road because it feels like that we have so much to tend to. So again, it is sort of this ask of like, could you be the brave one to really reach out and to start initiating meetups or hangouts, or even can we all get on Zoom and have, coffee or tea and just spend time in one another's space. And they were also saying, and this is a very whale-like consciousness, is, when we make conscious connections with those who bring us into our hearts and help us evoke safety, connection, and community. So it opens our energy field and brings us deeper into our heart. And that is one of the ways that we can not only increase our vibratory frequency, so to raise our vibe, but it is how we raise the vibe of the planet. It is about being in the heart. It is finding joy and happiness. And we can certainly do that through deep, connected, meaningful relationships. So we could say in reaching out, this is also a beautiful way for us, to elevate our spirit and to also elevate the spirit and the consciousness in the entirety of the planet. So the specific phrase that the whales used is they talk about, when we are in connected community, we step into like a crystalline consciousness. We step into this higher way of being that elevates our awareness. It engages our heart and allows the increased frequency and energy to come forward. So that is that higher, consciousness coming forward. And their last message for this week was all about holding the vision of how you would like the world to be. And it was this feeling of everything feels, or potentially be feeling, like quite messy. There could be a lot of despair and a lack of hope, in your system. But it really is about Yes, we can acknowledge what's happening in the outer world, but really taking some time to consciously hold the vision of where do we want to end up, and really seeing ourselves like we are in a transition point right now. And even though things can feel heartbreaking, they may be scary, they can be really messy, and they can feel complicated, where can we get ourselves? Where do we want to see ourselves? And to spend some time consciously, creating those thoughts, those images, those feelings within ourselves. So again, we can start, as the shamans would say, dreaming that way of being. We start to create those energetic templates so that we can bring that out into the world. All right, guys, I wish you a beautiful week ahead.